Hello and happy Wednesday. I hope you feel blessed and refreshed. I'm back with another one today. I have a quick motivation for you. So, on today, I want to talk about 30 ways, 36 ways, actually 37 ways to improve ourselves. Most of these ways are easier said than done, but if we are self aware and we want to have that self control that we should have as adults, then we will notice that we have an issue in certain areas and we'll do whatever we need to do to fix that issue. So, ultimately, at the end of the 36 ways to improve self, there is one way that is guaranteed to improve you. So, on number one on the list is to meditate. Some of us like to wake up early. We like to play soft music. We might like to exercise or stretch. And that is a great way to improve yourself because your body is important. I mean, your body is your temple, it's carrying your soul. And not only that, it's carrying you through this life. So, if you don't treat your body the right way, whether it be by meditating or exercising or eating right, then how can you really improve yourself? Number two is to set goals. And we can talk about what we want to do all day long. But if we don't sit down and make a list and make it plain, then we will never get to it. So if you want to improve yourself, have that self control to set yourself some goals and then come back to those goals and see yourself checking them off. Another way to improve yourself is to read daily. I encourage you to read the Bible daily. That is definitely going to improve you. But reading anything, it just strengthens our mind. It takes us out of being in this life and being in the zone of whatever we're used to every day. And it's going to help improve our mindsets and our emotions too. Next up, we uh, we should judge less because how many of us are so worried about our neighbor and why she decided to paint her fence black versus worried about our own self and whether we're going to put a fence up or not. So, something that simple can be looked at as being judgmental because, who are we to judge? Who are we to say she can't have a black fence if she want? So that's just an example. Another way to improve self is to eat healthy. And that goes right along with meditating and exercising. We can do that all day. But if we're not eating healthy, then we're not going to see any differences in our body. Love yourself. Easier said than done. A lot of people have a hard time loving themselves, and I just love the fact that I'm able to be here again in the land of the living, to be able to come and talk with you again, and I just thank God for every special entity of me. Because we're all different. And if we don't take the time to get to know ourselves and love ourselves, then we're always going to feel small up against the others that are around us when we should really feel big, right? We should be bold. We should be courageous. We should be full of life. We should be the light because we know that God has directed our path. So another way to improve yourself is just to wake up early. The early bird really does get the worm. And it's easier said than done. How many of us want to roll out the bed when we're not used to it? But if you got that self control and you want to make some changes or you want to get some things done early, then waking up early is another good way to improve yourself. Start a journal. Starting a journal is pretty important because as you start to make a plan and write down your goals and start to read and do things like that, you don't want to overwhelm those around you with the information that you're getting, with the direction, with the visions that you're getting from God. You want to have a journal to put all that in so that you can, as you do start putting that plan into action, you can come back and review it in your journal and make sure that it's going the way that you planned versus if you go talk to a friend or somebody, they might cloud your vision. They might say, um, that plan or that goal that you set is not really a realistic goal. How do you expect to handle that? And that's just because sometimes we share too much information. So I encourage you to write it in a journal. Um, Another way to improve yourself is to quit bad habits. It could be a lot of people say smoking and drinking, but a bad habit could be anything. It could be being annoyed. It could be being fearful. It could be procrastinating, not finishing a job on time, being tardy, different things. So, quitting bad habits is another way to improve self because then all you have is positive habits, positive thoughts, positive moods, and nothing can get in the way of that. Next, you want to ask for feedback. How many of us try to do things on our own? We don't want to ask for help. We don't want to make it seem like we're weak or whatever it is that we might be thinking. But in reality, we have to get the feedback of others because how else then will we know, um, how to improve ourselves? So I don't mean asking your friend if she thinks you're smart enough. Not that, because you are smart enough. If you say you're smart, you're smart. But as far as you know, let's just say there's a new business venture that you want to do, and you want to get some opinions. You want to ask feedback because feedback is going to help you get to the right direction, get you to where you want to be. Now the trick to that is make sure that you get feedback from the right people because not everybody is happy for us, even though they might pretend that they are. Okay, another way to improve yourself is to learn a new skill. I mean, that sounds easy, but it's also not when you think about what could that new skill be. But I encourage you to make sure that it's something that you really enjoy, something that you're passionate about, so that you can continue to do it. Believe in yourself. That is another good way to improve yourself. Believe in yourself. If God brought you to it, then He's going to bring you through it. You can do it, no matter what it is. Don't let fear get in the way. Don't let doubt take over you. Don't let frustration take over you when you do start to do whatever it is and it starts to not go the way you want it. Believe in yourself, knowing uh, that you have the power. And another way is to start a new routine. I mean, I can't tell you how routines have saved my life over the last maybe year and a half. I put a lot of different routines into place with my family and I, and it's improved me as well because I'm not so tired. I'm not so irritable. I feel like I'm actually getting things done in my day. I'm not wasting parts of my day. Plan a new strategy. So that can go hand in hand with a routine. It just depends on what strategy is for you. Maybe you need a new game plan on how to get the kids to school. Planning that out is going to help you in the long run to improve yourself. So, learn how to invest. That's something that I'm still learning. But if you invest, then obviously later you're going to have a lot more retirement money or money for your children and things like that. Learning how to invest is a good way. Um, but I encourage you not to indulge in it because there's more to life than just the money. But it is good to learn how to invest, to learn how to double and triple your money. Don't make excuses. Oh man, that's a big one. Like, if you really want to improve yourself, you gotta be straight up. You gotta be real. You gotta tell the truth. If you made a mistake or if you just simply forgot, then you forgot. There's no need to make excuses. That's stuff that children do. So if you want to improve yourself, also you're gonna stop procrastinating. I mean, how many of us put things on the back burner and never come back and get them done? Procrastinating is one of the biggest things that can keep us hindered, can keep us in the same place because we just never get on top of what it is we need to do or want to do. Improve yourself by reviewing your finances. Make sure you're not spending too much. Make sure that you're actually paying things on time and actually able to save a couple dollars in case of emergencies. Improve yourself by focusing on the positive and not the negative because most of you probably know that your positive is your reality. So if you're speaking out loud um, that my toddler is going to be hectic today, then she's probably going to be hectic today. So how about we focus on the positive? Oh, my toddler is still relaxing. She's getting plenty of sleep. Hopefully, she'll be awake and energized and in a good mood versus being whiny. Change your attitude, improve yourself by changing your attitude. I mean, that's a big one because if we just walk around like, oh, I'm mad or oh, I'm irritated, or even um, what was the other emotion that I was just thinking about? Being worried, being fearful. We got to change our attitudes in order to improve ourselves so that we can walk into our true purpose. We can't if we are afraid of certain things, or we can't if we're not prepared for certain things. Learn a new language. Now that one, that's pretty easy to do. I guess it just depends. A lot of us might have friends or not have friends that speak a different language, but back in the day, that was pretty popular, where you try to learn a new language because your friends did or talk that way. So that's another way to improve yourself. I mean, think about the opportunities that can come. Think about the conversations that you can have with people. Maybe you want to go on vacation and or something like that and take a visit. Think about those type of things. Another way to improve yourself is to question your purpose. It's pretty hard for us to figure out what our purpose is all on our own. So, me personally, I have to seek Christ, and I encourage you to do the same because he is going to show you your purpose, your 100% purpose. Improve yourself by focusing on one thing at a time. I can't tell you how many times I've said, "Oh, I can multitask. Oh, I can do that. I can do that." But when it came down to it, and it got to going, I got very tired quick, or I got frustrated quick, or whatever that might be. So, focusing on one thing at a time is very important because then you're going to have time to focus on you and only you because you're trying to improve yourself. So, another way to improve yourself is to automate and delegate. And that just means that a lot of things that we do in life is repetitious, whether it be going to work or taking care of the kids or cleaning the house or the car, whatever it might be. A lot of those things are repetitious. They're being repeated. So why not, make it so that at 5 o'clock every day, my daughter washes the dishes or delegate certain chores to others. And then we have to delegate, meaning we have to get our kids involved, helping with day to day chores, or whether it be our spouse, or maybe it's the teachers at school that can help teach our child something that we have trouble teaching them. It could be so many different things. But if we delegate, then that's just taking the pressure off of us for so many different things. Then we're improving ourselves because then we realize that we can't do it all by ourselves and we'll be less stressed. Another way to improve yourself is to acknowledge your flaws. We are not perfect. A lot of us are out here like, like we're better than, or like we got it all together, like we know it all, and we don't. We have to acknowledge where we fall short. We have to acknowledge where God gets the glory. Because if we didn't fall short, then He wouldn't get any glory. And that's where our flaws come in. Another way to improve yourself is to leave your comfort zone. And that's a hard one. That is very hard to do, especially when you're accustomed to living a certain way or being a certain way. But if you leave that comfort zone, then you're going to improve yourself. You're going to make way for new beginnings, for things that are even better, even people that are even better. If you want to improve yourself, you should change your social circle. Why? Because the people that you're around or that you socialize with only know the old you. You've now changed. You now want to improve yourself. And if they want to stay where they were, then let them stay. And that's no disrespect. But you have to change who you're around. You have to change who you're around in order to see yourself improve. Next is see failure as opportunity. It definitely is. Failure doesn't mean that this life is over. It doesn't mean that there's all hope gone for you. If anything, it's giving you an opportunity to wait for something better or to prepare yourself for something better. Maybe you just wasn't prepared for that opportunity. Another way to improve yourself is to follow an exercise routine. very similar to meditating, but exercising, and it doesn't have to be full blown running or anything like that. There's a lot of exercises that can be done sitting down and in the bed. Make a business bucket list. Um, how many of us have some things in our head that we want to do in life? So why not make a bucket list for that and try to do those things? It's not impossible. If it's on your bucket list, then you've been brought to it for a reason, and it is possible. Next up, we have start being more organized. Now, that definitely helps. Definitely helps being organized because otherwise, you're not able to find anything, and then you might be always late somewhere, or you might not feel confident about what you're looking or how you look because you can't find what you're looking for. You might not be prepared for work. So many different scenarios, or children at school. So we stay on top of things by being organized. And it is very hard to do, but again, it's possible. If we do that, then we're going to improve ourselves a lot. And you can also improve by watching educational videos. I mean, how many times do we want to really just sit down and learn something new? Or we want to critique a craft that we already have. So that's just a way of improving ourselves. It's going to um, hopefully teach us something we don't know or give us a refresher on something. And who knows, that might lead to your goals. It might lead to you opening a business. You never know. So there's so many different ways to improve yourself, but ultimately, the ultimate way is through Christ, through Jesus Christ, drawing closer to Him, giving Him everything that is in us that we need help with, or that we don't quite understand. Giving it all to God is the best improvement for your life, because then He is going to come and He is going to meet you where you are, and you're going to be as long as you're committed, right? As long as it's in your heart, you're going to be made anew through Jesus Christ. And with that, that is the best improvement, to go from fighting with the flesh to wanting to seek the Holy Spirit is a great improvement. It's beautiful. So I pray that you have enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Bye bye.